Long ago, before stories belonged to the world, one creature outsmarted them all, Anansi the Spider. A trickster, a troublemaker, and the greatest storyteller of all time. Today we bring you 5 of his most famous adventures, filled with wit, wisdom, and laughter. But beware, not every trick ends well for Anansi. Anansi wanted to be the smartest creature in the world. So he gathered all the wisdom and stuffed it into a pot. But instead of sharing it, he decided to keep it all for himself. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't carry it up the tree. Then his young son Nentikuma laughed and said, "Father, why don't you tie it to your back instead?" And just like that, wisdom was lost to the world. But maybe it was for the best, because now we all get to share it. Did you know that once upon a time there were no stories in the world? The mighty sky god Niame kept them all. But Anansi wanted them, and was willing to do anything to get them. One by one, Anansi used his clever tricks to capture 4 dangerous creatures. And when he presented them to Niame, the sky god laughed and said, "You have earned the right to tell stories, Anansi." And that, my friends, is why we have stories today. Now, Anansi loved eating. And one day, after stuffing himself inside a melon, he got too fat to crawl out. But did he panic? No way. Instead, he tricked a farmer into believing the melon could talk. The farmer was amazed and brought it to the king. But when the king asked the melon to speak again, Anansi mocked him. Furious, the king threw the melon across the field. Splat! And guess what? Anansi rolled away, laughing. Anansi was greedy, very greedy. One day, Turtle came to visit at dinner time, but Anansi didn't want to share. So he played a little trick. Each time Turtle sat down, Anansi told him, "Your hands are dirty, go wash them." By the time Turtle returned, the food was gone. But Turtle got his revenge. When Anansi visited his home, he invited him to dinner, but only those who could stay underwater could eat. Anansi, too light to sink, floated back to the surface, and went home hungry. Anansi loved mischief, but sometimes his tricks went too far. After stealing from a farmer, the farmer set a trap. He made a sticky doll and placed it in the field. When Anansi greeted the doll, it stayed silent. He got mad and slapped it, smack! But oh no, his hand got stuck. Trapped in his own trick, Anansi learned a tough lesson that day. Sometimes being too clever gets you caught. And so, the legendary Anansi continues to teach us lessons, some funny, some wise, and some that prove that even the greatest trickster can be fooled. Which story was your favorite? Tell us in the comments. And if you love stories that challenge the mind, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mind Ed. Until next time, stay curious, stay wise.